Today, good morning, is a new day, and I wanted to record something that I dreamt this night. I'm undergoing at the moment, and it began a little bit before Christmas, maybe. I feel like a deep cleansing, like really being confronted with a lot of internal patterns, behaviors, belief system that I grew up with and that all of us grow up with in this society. And one pattern that I am kind of detecting right now that has been brought to my attention is shame and guilt. I feel that my guides and the spirits want to truly liberate myself from that, and the more they guide me towards my own patterns, and that's like a dream that I had tonight that I want to share, the more they take me to see my own patterns, the more I see how deeply rooted it is within me and our society, and how it is even like stored in our body. And I think many of you do know that our pain, our feelings, they are stored in our bodies. And wherever you have a constant ache is most probably a constant feeling of pain that has been not digested yet. So the dream that I had tonight was about being in school, and I was sitting next to somebody and we were undergoing a test. Actually, we got the results back. We had a test and we got back the results. And on the front page, on the top, there were the marks. So depending on what your mark was, you were kind of used to fit or to serve in a certain job. That was the school about. So when I got my test back and I looked at the mark, I couldn't even understand what kind of mark it was. It was like a W, and I was thinking of, the American system has like A, B, C, D, F. So I was like, it doesn't even make sense. And I was like thinking about the culture I was growing up, doesn't make sense either. So I looked to my neighbor and what kind of mark she had, and she says, I have a really good mark, so I'm gonna serve in a high position. Then she looked at mine and she says, that's kind of an F, like would be a 4 in the culture that I grew up, or even lower. So basically you kind of failed. And the minute she said that, I could feel the shame. I could feel like, first the panic about what kind of mark you have, then not even understanding, and then realizing I failed, and the shame that comes with it. Not being enough, not having done well enough, not feeling worthy. It's a feeling of complete abandonment as well. It's like, because you really don't feel loved. I didn't feel loved. So I was about to serve a job that was like kind of walking through the streets and just observing or something. And my classmate, who had a really good mark, she was so good that she was actually about to serve as kind of those kind of people who had so good marks, they were given equipment that they could fly high and be on top of everybody, but at the same time they were like on the lookout. They were like the observers above if anything from the sky, like a threat or something, would come. So they would be the first one who see what is coming and report it. So I could see, like in the dream, how she was up there and with her colleague, being the watchers, how they could really fly up and down, up and down. And then I could see how she was actually bracing or embracing, they were like kind of in a gondol, let's put it that way. They were kind of in a gondol sitting there and, watching about, everything that's going on. And so they were about to fly down, like out of the gondol, down. But she, who had so good marks, was clinching on something because she was super afraid. So her colleague asked her, like, what are you afraid of? And she was like, I am actually afraid of heights. So she was given that job to fly high because her marks were so good, but she was actually afraid of heights. That is where the dream ended. And I woke up, as I always wake up after every dream, even if it's in the middle of the night. And I realized quite something. I realized how the school system with the marks puts so much pressure on us. And I had that, like everybody from early age on. And I was like, like drilled to have good marks. And I always completed my mission. I always achieved the goal. I lived up to the expectations that were put upon me, and that throughout my entire life. But the pressure was so hard, so tough, that at one point in my life I couldn't live up to any expectation anymore, and I wouldn't deliver any good marks anymore. I even left the school. Well, like not literally, but metaphorically. And in that dream, that is what made me aware. The dream made me aware of that pressure that we all have, of constantly delivering good marks in our life, whatever that means for you. And even when you get a good mark, when you have done your job right and you receive a good mark, then what is given to you? Something that you don't even like doing, that you are afraid of, actually. It has nothing to do with your own passion. We were put in a school to serve others by doing things that we don't even like. But we feel like obligated, that's where the shame comes in, to achieve even those things that we don't like, because otherwise we get shamed that we don't achieve that. So, with every channeled message that I get and every dream state that I'm entering in dream portal, and I mean, I had that feeling for the longest time, that we are so drilled to live a life accordingly to measures and marks and expectations that have nothing to do with ourself and our essence. And it takes an immense and tremendous amount of strength and force to not follow that path. So here comes a little encouragement. I know that taking a different path is not the easiest thing, but it is possible. And I think the key to walk on that path in a good way and not in a way that it's a hardship is to understand that you are worthy of that and not feeling any shame, and especially not judging yourself when you walk a different path than anybody else, or that other people around you don't understand or don't approve of it. You are the master to your castle, and the keys are in your hands. You are deserving of entering through that door. You are so, so, so deserving. Let's liberate ourselves from shame, from guilt, and from total criticism and judgment about what we truly desire. Let's step out of that game, the school game, the mark game, the expectation game that doesn't serve us, what we truly are passionate about. It just serves others, so we doing their job that they don't want to do. Take good care, my loves. I love you very much.